Hey, it's me, AP, aka Mr. Movie Cheer, and welcome back to another video, and welcome back to another edition of Quick Topics, the show where I look at different movie topics, physical media, TV topics, anything all in the realm of TV, movies, physical media, basically. Let's get into it anyway. Let's get into today's topics. I've got 6 topics as always. Let's go for it. So the first topic I want to look at is what should the Jurassic Park / Jurassic World franchise do next? I actually just finished watching the most recent one, Jurassic World Dominion. So I've watched all of these Jurassic World and Jurassic Park movies now. I must say, I think the Jurassic World ones haven't been too bad. For me, the Jurassic Park general, I just say Jurassic Park movies because I just put them all in one category just to make it easier. For me, they're fun movies, but they don't really do anything beyond being a bit of fun. I don't think I don't look at the Jurassic Park movies and think, wow, this is like a groundbreaking movie. I think the first one was certainly, but I think the rest of them have been very mixed. I watched the new one today, and I thought that one, it was a bit different. I felt like they added a few different elements in there. I think going in different locations. It was a very worldly movie. It was, set around the world a lot in different locations. And it felt like it had a slightly different feel than the other ones, but still they do feel very similar. A lot of them anyway. So what would you do differently? And I'm saying this because I know it would be. I don't see them not making any more Jurassic Park movies because they make a lot of money. And if there's money to be made, if there's money on the table, these big companies will make the money. They will go and make more movies, surely. Same way I think they'll do more Star Wars movies eventually, in the mainline franchise anyway. So, what will we see here? What would I like to see? If we're going to do something totally different. Now, I'm saying it now, and this has probably already been said on the internet or on some Reddit subreddit somewhere. What I would like to see is a new new franchise, and it's called Jurassic Universe or something like that. Or Jurassic Space or Jurassic in Space. I don't know what it'd be, but maybe do something just really just a bit more outrageous and do a movie set in the future, because it's set in present time and it's just it feels these two franchises were very much connected to each other really. Let's just do something completely different and kind of throw the rule book out of the window and set a movie in in the future, in maybe 200 years in the future, where they have civilizations in space, or they set up a new civilization on a planet or on a space shuttle, and then you have a similar sort of thing where you have dinosaurs. The dinosaurs break out. I've imagine a mix of Alien meets dinosaurs meets Alien meets Jurassic Park. In a spaceship, dinosaurs break free. I think something like that. Just do something just do something different. I mean, I was gonna say you can't go too outrageous. It's a half human, half dinosaur. I think that would be too much. Maybe keep that for the third movie. But yeah, I would like to see just something completely different. I feel like the setting of Earth has been done over and over done. It's been done 6 times now, and they have to do something slightly different. So that's the way I would move forward. Do something like that, set in the future, either set in the future or set in the past, and do some sort of an origin of a secret Jurassic Park or something like that. Maybe something like that would be cool. But yeah, something like that. I'd like to see more Jurassic Park movies. I'd definitely watch them, but I'd be interested to see something a slight bit different than what we've seen previously. So next, I want to discuss my favourite movie scores, favourite film scores. I will say it's such a big part of my music listening to scores. I used to listen to bands a lot years ago, but now I found more and more I'm either listening to podcasts or I'm listening to movie scores or wrestling theme songs. But yeah, movie scores. I really love listening to movie scores. I mean, some of my favourite, John Williams, Michael Giacchino. There's some Basil Podaris. There's absolutely, I know I'm missing Alan Silvestri. He's another great one. There's some absolutely fantastic musicians out there creating great scores for movies. But I was thinking some of my favourites and when I look at, I want to look at like a whole album of like songs that really works for a film score. And I think like recent ones, most certainly, I look at is like, first of all, I would say for sure the Tron Legacy soundtrack, the Tron Legacy score by Daft Punk. That was that was a game changer for me. That is like one of my favorite albums. I think that is an absolute stunning album. I mean, that really, I'm not going to deny, I'm not going to say that movie is amazing. I like that movie, but I think I like it even more because it's got an amazing soundtrack, amazing score from Daft Punk, and it's so different. You know, you got this duo Daft Punk who were doing like electronic music, house music, and then they meet up with I think there was a composer they worked with, Joseph something, I can't remember. I know he's worked on other scores since. But they teamed up and created this score for Tron Legacy, the sequel to the Tron movie, and they created an absolute amazing score. It's one of my favourites. Other ones I would say, I think one that is really underrated is the Power Rangers one in the rebooted Power Rangers movie that came out a few years back. That score is amazing. That is a really good score. I can't remember the guy's name who did it. I think it might have been James something. But yeah, that is and really another 10 out of 10 score. Really very similar to the Tron Legacy. Got that same sort of like electronic meets orchestral vibe. I really like it. And another one in recent years as well that I go to is Thor Ragnarok. It was created by the guy who was the lead singer of Devo, the electronic band Devo, and he's like a film composer now. I think it's Mark or Matt Mothersbaugh, and he created just an absolutely unforgettable score for Thor Ragnarok, and really again made that movie, just added that extra element to that movie and give it like a synthesized score, which just absolutely really, do you know, if you've not checked out these scores, I always find you get a different experience if you listen to them rather than listen to them in the movie sometimes. If you listen to them as albums, you get a different experience completely. Check out them 3 albums if you've not checked them out before. Go on wherever you listen to your albums, give them a listen. They are all some of my favourites. But I'm sure, you know, I'm missing out a load of other classic ones, but they're the 3 that really do come to mind. So, favourite film around Halloween? Well, Halloween is not too far away now. We're getting closer and closer to Halloween. I think for me, I'm a bit of a scaredy cat, so I don't really go to horror movies that much. To be honest, I don't really have that many horror movies in the collection, really. But one I really do enjoy, and it's one I've watched maybe over the past 2 years now. It's a more recent one to me. I remember watching it vaguely as a kid, but never really got into it. But Nightmare Before Christmas, and I know it's like probably a bit of a cliche one now. Everyone probably says, "Oh yeah, I like this movie," but you know what? I really do like that movie. I think I love the animation in it, the stop motion animation. I think the songs in it are really good as well, and it's a good story. I think, I know you can say, oh, it could be a Halloween or it could be a Christmas movie. You could watch it at any point in the year, really. But yeah, I think it's one of those what I really do like, especially on Halloween night. Especially, I really like putting something like that on. I think it's a really good movie, and it's just something I can just like them sort of animated movies. I can just like really chill to. I really do like them ones. So yeah, Nightmare Before Christmas is definitely one I will be watching on Halloween, and it's one I really enjoy at Halloween. Will I ever collect Laserdisc? So if you're not aware, Laserdisc was a format back, I think it was started in like maybe the late 80s, early 90s. It's a format that didn't last for a very long time, really. It was a very short run, really, a couple of years. And I will tell you this, if you don't know about Laserdisc, there's a video on the channel, a Laserdisc discussion with Ben, aka Rider Rated 18. He knows his stuff when it comes to Laserdisc. Check out Ben's channel as well. But will I ever collect Laserdisc? I'll be honest with you, I'm always looking out for Laserdisc when I go charity shops. And Ben has said to me, you know, he's collected a lot of his from like charity shops and stuff like that. Over the years, he's found them, and I've never seen a Laserdisc yet in a charity shop. I always look through the records, just thinking they may be mixed in. If you don't know what they look like, they basically look like a 12-inch record. But never seen them. So for me, for that process, will I ever collect? I never say never. I think for me anyway, I don't think I would buy a big I don't think I'd go out and buy a Laserdisc player, because I know like Ben said he had a few issues with Laserdisc players and stuff, and I think I'm sure he said he had a bit of an issue anyway once we won. But I always think with technology from the past now, it's it's harder to get, first of all. Laserdisc, I imagine, would be harder to find a working Laserdisc player for one. And then getting it fixed would be an absolute pain in the backside, I imagine. So I think for that reason alone, I think the idea of getting a player would be an absolute quest to find a player. And then, sure, you could get stuff off eBay, then like the Laserdisc themselves. But I don't know whether it'd be for me. I always think as well, storage-wise, because the big items are not like something you can put on your shelf unless you've got a really deep shelf. So that would be another thing where I'd be thinking, maybe that's another con for me. What I do like about Laserdisc, though, I think they look awesome as display pieces. And I think if you have them on display, like if you have one, maybe put it in a nice frame, if you get one with some nice cover art, I think in that sense, that would be where I would say, yeah, you know what, I could collect Laserdiscs, and that would be why I would collect them, to put some on display. But I don't see myself starting like a full-on collection of Laserdiscs personally, just because they seem something that are harder to find, and like I said, getting a player working would just be something where wouldn't be super interested in collecting that format at this time anyway. What is the best way to display your movies, your favourite movies? Now, I have got the movie collection behind me, but this opens and closes, so you don't see these movies. They're never really on display, apart from when I'm doing videos. But I thought about this recently, because I think, it's nice to have. I do like having like little pieces around the movie room. I've got like the wrestling belt here, I've got some like Masters of the Universe stuff, and a few other little things around the movie room. And I thought, what would be the best way to display your movies? And now, surely, yeah, you might have a bookcase where you have all your movies in. That's great. But maybe you have like a certain movie that you want to really have as like the showpiece of your collection. How would you display it? I think the best place to look for this, there's a few places, but I tell you what, Etsy is a great place. You can get some absolutely amazing pieces to display your movies in. And for instance, for example, you can get like a frame to put on your wall, and they have like these ones where it'll say now showing, like it's at a cinema, and you just place your DVD in there or your Blu-ray, whatever, and it becomes like a photo for the wall, and you can just swap and change them. I think things like that are really good to display some of your favorite movies. I think also as well, a really cheap solution for displaying your movies, and if you just want one maybe on like a sideboard or a desk or something like that, is basically, I remember years ago, we used to have like in the house like plates, and I think a lot of families did this years ago, where they have like plates, like old antique plates, or just like really tacky china plates on display on these like sort of like these little, I don't know what they're called, like these little devices that you open up, and then you just sit a plate on. And I've seen them recently in like DIY shops where you just open them. They look like a little, like two little L's that open up, and then you just sit a plate on. But you could easily sit a movie on, like a DVD, a Blu-ray, 4K. And I thought that would be another great way to display a movie in a movie room. And it's just such a really simple method. But I think again, it's just simple, but it would work. And to display your favorites, you can swap and change them then. I think that is a great one. That is probably something I'm going to do eventually. And I think what I would like to do as well is maybe like spray paint them as well, just to maybe put some, a bit of character onto them as well, even though like no one will probably see that much of it. But I think for displaying a movie, it's a good idea, and I think the wall idea is great. I think either putting them on the wall in like sort of in one of them now showing frames, or having them displayed on one of them little devices as well, is a cool idea for displaying your favorite movies. Now, the final quick topic I want to get to today is, what is the best movie biopic, or some of my favourite best movie biopics anyway. I talk about this because, I recently watched the Elvis movie, and I got to say, that movie was a really good watch. I really enjoyed that, and definitely I would put that up there with some of my favourites now. But I think other favourites, I would say the Chaplin movie with Robert Downey Jr., that is certainly one of my favourites. And the Ray Charles movie, Jamie Foxx in the Ray movie. I've seen a few other ones, like Johnny Cash one's okay. That's a decent movie as well. I think the Elvis one is probably better than the Johnny Cash one now for me personally. Some of them have been like not been as good over the years. I think like one what was really disappointing for me was the Bohemian Rhapsody one. I felt like I've only watched it once, and I watched it and I wasn't a big fan of it. And I do like Queen, but For me, it felt like one big music video, but like the Ray Charles and the Elvis one felt like there was a story there in both of them movies, and I thought they were really, really good movies. And the Chaplin one, look, I don't really know much about Charlie Chaplin. I'm not going to pretend that I've watched tons of Charlie Chaplin movies. I've watched a few different clips after seeing that movie, but the Charlie Chaplin movie with Robert Downey Jr. is fantastic. It's a really good film, and if you've not checked it out, definitely check that one out. It's a solid movie, and his portrayal of Chaplin is, if you watch the comparison footage, it is stunning how alike they are. It's great to watch, but yeah, they are really like some of my top three now: the Elvis, the Ray Charles, and the Chaplin movie. Some of my favorite biopics out there. If you enjoyed this video today, please do give it a like and check out the rest of the movie-related content on the channel as well. And let me know your thoughts on today's quick topics, ladies and gents. What did you think of all these topics? Give me your thoughts. And also, if you have any topics you'd like to have discussed on future episodes of Quick Topics, please do leave it in the comments below. Always like to have more interaction with the Movie Cheertown community in these videos as well. But yeah, it's been a really some cool topics there that I've really enjoyed diving into, and hopefully we'll do more of these videos again very, very soon. But thank you very much for watching, ladies and gents. Remember to spread a bit of movie cheer, and as always, I will see you next time.